All right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome today to Super Sunday. As usual, ladies and gentlemen, Raul here. Welcome to my home from wherever you are. Okay, I'm actually here in Modesto in the studio at my house. So hopefully you get to learn today something super, super cool. Hey, as I'm sharing it, just make sure that you go ahead and hit like, leave me a message, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, as well as turn on the notification button and share this video with others. Today, I want to talk to you precisely about, the first thing is not the first thing. And I know, and let me explain what is it that I mean by that, okay? What is it do I mean by the first thing is not the first thing, Raul? Well, for the people that know me, I've been in real estate investing for well over now 2 decades. And even though I first started, I did my very first attempt at the age of 16, where I wanted it to buy my very first property. I wasn't successful at it at the age of 16. Obviously, I was able to succeed at it at the age of 19 years of age. And it was a property that I bought in Hayward, California, 3 little cottages that I, grabbed the garages, converted the garages into the 4th one. And it was my very first experience where literally things were really accelerating financially like never before. Why? Because I didn't have to pay rent anymore and or mortgage, because the other 3 cottages would actually pay for the one that I was living on. So, with the very first decade, I was doing things completely the opposite. And most of you guys, I know for a fact that the first thing that you're thinking that you need to do, it is not the first thing. So I'll give you an example. The first thing for most real estate investors, even the ones with experience, and even people that literally think that even have, even I've heard it even from real estate agents. Like for instance, I'll give you one of the things, okay? And I got a few to share here that I wrote down, today. Number one, they think that the first thing is I need the money, I need the credit, and then I need the property. Okay, it's not true. The reality is that was the mentality that I was investing in my first decade. Completely wrong. Throw it out the door. Now, you may or may not agree with what I say, and go ahead and leave me a message down below. The reality is, now in my second decade, I can tell you that, the property comes first, then the money comes second. Now, you don't have to agree. That's how I invested it. Why is the property much more, much more, needed or much more important to begin with? Well, if you become great to buying properties at 30% discount minus the repairs, the money will follow you. The money will be there, and you may not agree with it. And I remember when I used to disagree with people that used to tell me that. And today, it's more truer. It's much more viable because I get it. Back then, I wasn't getting it. So the first thing is not the first thing. So start, thinking that money is the first thing, because it's not. You become really great, my friend, at locating or negotiating properties that truly make sense, where you're buying them at, for instance, 30% discount minus the renovation, and send me a private message and you'll see that the money will follow you. Now, it's got to be viable. Most of the time we think, oh, I need the money. No, you need the property. Now, number 2, I'm going to give you the highlight. Number 2, people think that property comes first and then relationship comes second. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. My second decade. The relationship comes first. The property comes second. The property comes second. How powerful is that? Now, do you agree or disagree? Leave me a message down below. The reality is, doesn't matter if it's the seller direct. I got to build first a relationship, trust, likability, and then, the property is going to come afterwards. The same thing with real estate agents. Try to call a real estate agent that you've never met before, and it's your very first time, and tell them to sell you their listing, and tell them to sell it at the price that you needed to buy it, so that it makes sense. And you'll notice that if you don't build likability, trust, and a relationship, the deal is not going to happen. Relationship first, property second, or property afterwards. Okay. So the third one, people want to have first the trust in themselves, and then they'll believe that they can do it. The reality is it doesn't work that way. It's the belief comes first, the trust come after. Why the trust comes after? Because after you put the action, you'll get feedback, and that feedback is going to let you know, it's going to make you wiser. So therefore, the trust is going to rise if you're actually willing to learn from it. So understand that belief comes first, trust comes second. Okay. Number 4, I'm going to give you number 4. Most people believe that action comes first and the idea comes second. It's almost like, okay, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm just going to literally go out the house and see, if I find something. Wrong plan. But the idea comes first and then the action comes after. Okay. So, do you agree or disagree so far? Because I'll tell you, especially when someone is new in real estate investing, and some people even with experience, and many people even with, obviously having a license, they think differently. Now, it doesn't mean that they're wrong. I'm saying they're just thinking different. So therefore, because of the way that I've done it in my, past 10 years now, has worked better than ever before in my lifetime. The first decade, I messed it up really bad. Second decade, I kind of understand what's happening and what is it what in the heck am I doing right or wrong? And I can tell you, I still make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. But the reality is that you got to learn from what you're, going through. So anyways, what I'm sharing right now, it's a summary of how is it that I was doing it before and how is it today? And I know, because I know myself, I know you. Listen to what I say. Because I know myself, I know you. So therefore, which means that because I know when I was new as a real estate investor, everything that in the mindset and everything that I was doing, it is completely opposite. That's why I call this, the title of this live, the first thing is not the first thing, at least not the first thing that you're thinking. Okay. So anyways, many people think that the first thing is, let me become rich, and then afterwards I'll develop emotional control or or I will grow personally, mentally, and spiritually. No, you first have to have or develop emotional control, and then, you can have, a permanent richness. So it's very important. Now, you don't have to agree. I'm sharing it from a perspective of having it all, losing it all, having to come back again, and doing it in a very different way that I thought that I had the golden nugget. But the reality is, it was the mindset, the wrong thinking that was keeping me in the ground, and giving me the lessons that were needed. Okay. So the following one. Okay. Many people think that the result comes first and then the gratitude comes second. By the way, most people actually do that. That's why most people have very little. The reality of life is that gratitude is first and the results come second, or the results come after. Today, I'm more grateful than I've ever been in my entire life. And I can tell you that gratitude opens so many doors and gives you clarity, but you got to mean it. You got to do it on purpose. Okay. Anyways, last but not least, it's a lot of people, they're waiting to receive first. And then if they receive, they may be able to give. Totally, completely wrong and opposite. It's the first thing is, give first and then receiving comes after. Now, easy said, it's easier said than done. And I can remember taking a course many years ago, many years ago, where, they were giving us an apple, a red apple. It was juicy. It was, you could feel like, you could literally feel that it was a very, a very colorful, juicy apple, but they told us not to eat it. And there were other people in the team that they started eating it because, they were very thirsty and very hungry. And I'm pretty sure that they actually kept us thirsty and hungry by purpose, because then they told us, grab the apple, and the exercise is go and give it to whoever you care for, even if you want, even if you need it, or even if you want it. And it was the very first time, and I'm talking about many, many, many years ago. To be precise, probably I'm thinking, I don't know, 9 years, maybe 9 years or so, maybe 10. And it was the very first time that I was giving something that I felt that I really needed because I was thirsty and hungry. Now, picture that. How about if people were to actually live in that state of mindset, where people think, oh, let me receive first and then let me see if I can give. It's almost like, let me get paid first and then let me see if I'm willing to work, right? It almost seems like we're going into that direction, right? But anyways, it's the opposite. It's the opposite, ladies and gentlemen. It's give first and then receive later. So you may or may not agree with it, ladies and gentlemen, but congratulations for being here with me today. I wanted it to obviously take a quick moment on this beautiful Sunday so that I can go ahead and share with you so that you can continue to grow as a real estate investor. So, hey, I want to send you a virtual hug. If you want to continue to learn about real estate investing and obviously, personal development, go ahead and, go to the website. You can sign up for free. You can go to RaulLunaAcademy.com, and basically you're going to be able to sign up there where I give you free lessons. And then I also have other paid ones. All right. Anyhow, congratulations. And always remember that there's always a better way. There's always more. And at the end, truly, just really, 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 truly depends on you. See you next time. Thank you.